Most people fail at language learning for one simple reason. They practice alone with an app and never actually speak. And honestly, that used to be unavoidable. A private tutor costs $30, $50, sometimes $80 an hour. Today, that excuse is gone. If you have a phone and any free chatbot, you now hold something no generation has ever had. An infinitely patient conversation partner, available at 3 in the morning, that speaks basically every language on Earth and never judges you. But here's the catch, almost nobody uses it correctly. They type "teach me Spanish" into a chatbot, get a generic vocabulary list and quit after a week. Today, I'm giving you the complete method, the 5-step system that turns AI into a genuine language tutor: conversation practice, pronunciation feedback, immersion planning, real context, and vocabulary that actually sticks. We'll also talk about where Duolingo and Babbel still make sense, because the answer isn't what you think. Let's get into it.
Step 1, and this is the big one, is spoken conversation practice. Open the ChatGPT app, tap the voice mode button, and give it a prompt like this: "You are my Spanish tutor. We're two friends catching up over coffee in Madrid. Speak slowly, keep your sentences short, and if I make a mistake, gently correct me and keep the conversation going. Then just talk about your day, about a movie you hated, about why your football team keeps losing." Here's why this works. Your brain learns language best when it's negotiating real meaning, when you genuinely need to say something and have to find the words. A textbook dialogue about buying train tickets never triggers that. But describing your actual weekend to a patient AI that responds in real time, that's the exact mental pressure that builds fluency. The magic phrase to remember is "correct me gently and keep going." You want errors fixed without the conversation dying every 10 seconds. And when you hit a word you don't know, don't switch to English. Say, "How do I say X?" right inside the conversation. Learn it and continue. Do 20 minutes of this a day, and within a month you'll be holding real conversations.
Step 2, fixing your accent with a feedback loop. Most learners practice pronunciation into the void. They repeat a phrase and have no idea if it sounded right. Here's the trick. Take a short paragraph in your target language and ask the AI for one at your level. Then use voice mode to read it aloud like a radio announcer. Now ask, "Transcribe exactly what you heard me say," then compare it to the original text and list every difference. This is beautifully brutal. If you said "Pero, dog," and the AI heard "Pero," but you've just found a pronunciation gap that a human tutor might soft pedal. The machine has no ego, and neither does the transcript. Once you know your problem's sounds, for Spanish it's usually the rolled R, for French the nasal vowels, for English speakers learning Japanese it's vowel length. Ask for targeted drills. Give me 5 lines that repeat the double R sound in different word positions. Record yourself, compare, repeat. Reread the same passage every week and watch the error list shrink. That visible progress is addictive, and it's the kind of feedback that used to cost $80 an hour.
Step 3, immersion planning. Here's your prompt. I'm a 2-level in French. My goal is to comfortably chat with my partner's family at Christmas dinner. I have 30 minutes on weekdays and an hour on weekends. Build me a weekly study plan mixing speaking, listening, and vocabulary, and make week 1 so easy I can't fail. Notice the last part. Most study plans collapse because ambition on Sunday becomes burnout by Wednesday. AI will happily build you a ramp instead of a wall, but only if you ask. Then use it to engineer real immersion. Ask it to turn your phone's language to French and give you a survival guide for the change. Ask it to pick 10 Netflix shows for your level then, and this is the pro move after watching an episode, describe the plot to the AI in French and have it correct you and fill in the words you were missing. You just turn passive watching into active production. When your schedule blows up, don't abandon the plan, tell the AI. It will rebalance the week in 10 seconds. A human tutor who redoes your curriculum every time life happens, that doesn't exist at any price.
Step 4, context translation. Traditional translation apps give you the word and move on. AI gives you the story behind the word. Paste in something real, a Spanish meme, an Italian text from your colleague, a lyric from that song stuck in your head, and prompt. Translate this, then explain the tone, the register, any slang, and what a native speaker would feel reading it. The results will surprise you. That text from your German colleague that translates to "we must see." Is it enthusiasm or bureaucratic politeness? AI will tell you, and that difference matters in real relationships. Then go deeper with the single best language learning question that exists. Why did they use this word instead of that other word? I know that means the same thing. That question, sir versus estar, savoir versus connaître, pour versus para, is where intermediate learners become advanced ones. The answer is always cultural and grammatical nuance that phrasebooks physically cannot carry. You're not memorizing anymore. You're understanding the language as a living system, built from content you actually chose to read.
Step 5. Vocabulary that actually stays in your head. The science here is settled, spaced repetition and personal connection beat brute memorization every time. AI supercharges both. First, instead of some pre-made top 1,000 Spanish words deck, ask, I'm learning Spanish to work in a hospital kitchen and talk about football. Give me the 100 highest value words for exactly those situations, with example sentences about my life. Your brain retains words wired to your reality far better than random lists. That's the personal connection half. For the spaced repetition half, do this. Every time you have a voice conversation with your AI tutor, end with list the words I struggled with or asked about today. Save those. Once a week, feed the week's list back and say quiz me on these with fill-in-the-blank sentences. The words keep returning at expanding intervals, each time embedded in a sentence about something you'd actually say. 100 words deeply learned this way will carry you further than 1,000 words half-remembered from an app streak you were afraid to break.
So should you delete Duolingo? Not necessarily, and here's the honest comparison. What language apps genuinely do well, they are world-class habit engines. The streak, the leagues, the little notification owl, that psychology gets you to touch the language daily, and daily contact matters enormously. Their structured grammar progression is also solid for absolute beginners building a foundation. What they categorically cannot do, teach you to hold a conversation. The research on this is consistent. Recognition is not production. Tapping the right answer on a screen is a completely different skill from forming a sentence out loud in real time with a human waiting for your reply. So the Smart 2026 stack is hybrid. Keep the app for your commute, for the habit, for grammar drills, maybe 10 minutes a day. Then do 20 minutes of AI voice conversation for actual fluency. If you're past the beginner stage and still only using apps, you're not plateauing because you're bad at languages. You're plateauing because you've mastered the app and the app has run out of road. The road continues, it just requires opening your mouth.
Let's put the whole system together. 1. Speak from day 1, 20 minutes of AI voice conversation daily is the core, and it replaces the tutor that used to cost thousands a year. 2. Check your accent with the transcription trick, read aloud, get the transcript, fix the gaps. 3. Have AI build your immersion plan and rebalance it when life happens. 4. Use context translation to learn the why behind words, not just the what. 5. Build spaced repetition vocabulary from your own conversations about your own life. And 6. Keep your app for the habit if you love it, just know it can't do the speaking part for you. That's the entire method. It costs nothing, it fits in 30 minutes a day, and the only person who can run it is you.
If this saved you from buying a course you didn't need, subscribing is the best way to say thanks. It's free, and it tells us to make more videos like this one. Drop a comment telling us which language you're learning and which step you're starting with. We read every single one, and your suggestions genuinely shape what we cover next. See you in the next video. Hasta luego.